Good evening and welcome to the Return of the Nine. My name is Lawrence and I am playing Orion, a human pugilist who excels at the sweet science. Joining us tonight is Carolyn.
Hi, I'm playing Regali, the glamorous human bard.
Also joining us tonight is Hobie.
Hi, I'm Hobie. I'll be playing Frederick, the half-elf Pact of the Blade Warlock for the Raven Queen.
And finally, our last member tonight is Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I'll be playing Ember, the Furbolg Druid, Circle of Wildfire.
And organizing our game tonight is our wonderful DM, Dennis.
Hello. All right. So Everland lies before you, just down the hill. You're on the road. There doesn't seem to be anything dramatic going on, but it is getting dusk, and it is a beautiful spring evening, although you can tell winter has not quite left the air. So tonight it's going to get cold, and you're thinking might be a good time to B&B.
That sounds like a good idea to me. I say we go find ourselves a B&B with a good bar, because I wouldn't mind having a couple beers tonight to ward off any chill.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe
Sure.
Regali can sing us some tunes and get us a little discount on the bedrooms tonight.
You guys have a marching order?
Sure. Who wants to lead?
I can be up front.
All right.
Fine.
Ember is in the lead. I will be the rear guard. And Regali and Frederick can arm wrestle to see who goes second.
If you don't mind, I can go second.
Sounds good.
Ember, Frederick. Okay. How far are we from the city walls?
You'll be there in an hour.
Okay. Are we going to get there before dark or?
Yes. The sun will have gone down, and you'll get there right about the time they start thinking about closing the gate.
Okay. Well, I guess then we better put a little quickness in our step, because I don't want to be stuck outside the gate and have to sleep and wake up with frost on me tomorrow.
Second that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, yeah, the
Mr.
druid.
Fire.
Yeah, the druid's like, yeah, it's
The druid
fine.
doesn't care.
Yeah, I'll sleep
You
outside.
can always make us a fire.
You do excel at fireworks, Ember. But I would rather be inside in a tavern with some beer and some cute tavern ladies.
Of course.
Hey, I've been walking around in the wild, learning the ways of the wild. You can come into the city and I'll show you the way of the city.
Okay.
Feeling nervous because our dungeon master is looking like he's about to hatch something on us.
Okay, just making sure. As you come down the hill, this is the Silvery Moon Gate. That's where you're going to enter.
Okay.
Everybody sees that, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're passing farms at the moment, and this little area right here is a corral full of horses. As you approach, you hear them snort and stutter, because that's what they do when they sense a presence coming. And now you are at the gate. There are 6 guards here. They are armed with pole arms. You could see others up on the walls. They're looking down at you. You are told to advance and be recognized. And 2 of them approach with their lanterns held high, looking at your faces. And it's not quite dark yet. It's still a little purple in the west.
Okay. Well, I will say good evening to them.
Greetings.
Hi.
My name is Orion, and are the gates still open? We'd like to get in to find ourselves a tavern for the night.
Of course. You're welcome here in Everland. Don't get into trouble.
I'll put my hands up. Hey, look, I'm unarmed. I'm not trouble.
You look like trouble.
Well, that's what my mom said too.
If he were better at trouble, he wouldn't look like it.
Are there always this many guards at the gate?
No, tonight is special.
What's going on? What's tonight?
Oh, you don't know. You're not here for Chef John.
Who's Sean?
Oh. Chef John grants food wishes.
Now, what's a food wish?
Just come in. Hope you can still get a ticket.
Where can we get tickets?
At the ticket office. Are you new here?
Yeah, I
Yes.
These guys are known as the Army of the Vale.
Okay.
Okay, it's the local militia. They do have a city watch of police, but they are not as heavily armed, nor are they as heavily experienced as the Army of the Vale. They don't bring them out unless it's a special occasion, and evidently Chef John appears to be a special occasion.
All right.
Just can't figure out if the wishes are for the food, or if you're wishing for food, or if the food grants wishes.
Taverns in Everland, the Dreaming Dragon, of course, that's elves and halfling hangout. Stag at the Bay is for hunters and adventurers. The Missing Minotaur, that's a little more rougher crowd, but the prices have dropped significantly in order to get people to come. There you go.
What was the third option?
The Missing Minotaur.
Well, I think everybody probably knows what Orion's preference is, but
Yeah,
I'm
we know.
willing. I'm good with the Stag in the Bay or the Missing Minotaur. I'm gonna pass on the Dreaming Dragon though. Elves are usually a little,
Last strong.
yeah, and who knows what kind of. I mean, I don't want any trouble with some snotty elf picking on Frederick because he's a half elf. I'd rather avoid that.
Okay.
So, where you want to go? What's your preference, Ember?
I don't really care which bar, but I do want to see Chef John.
Okay. How about you, Regali?
I would rather go to the nicer of the two, the adventurers one.
Okay. All right. Well, let's make our way to the Stag and Bay, and then maybe on the way there, or once we get there, we can find out where this ticket office is. Because this Chef John seems like a big deal. I think we should check it out.
Stag on the Bay is in the southern portion of the city, just across the bridge. They get a ton of foot traffic, which makes it the perfect place to have a tavern.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to cross the Knights Bridge. I'm sorry. It is the Knight Bridge, not Knights. And it's Knight.
Okay.
There are a group of soldiers here as well, although they are busy talking amongst themselves and they pay you little heed. So as you cross the bridge, you're heading south. On your left-hand side is this big, long building, and there is a sign out front that says Stag at the Bay.
Okay.
And people are coming and going out the back door. There seems to be a lot of things being unloaded at a wagon. And this is when you realize that Chef John will be here.
Ooh.
So Orion can't read the sign. Is it in picture form, or do I have to rely on my colleagues to nudge me? And go, this is the place.
So the picture on the sign, because in this time and place, they're used to people not being able to read. There is a picture of a stag's head, and behind him is a little map of a bay.
I nudge Frederick. I bet you this is the place.
I hope they
Quick.
still have rooms.
That.
It looks like the Chef John person might be here. I hope they're not sold out.
It is incredibly busy. There is no vacancy upstairs. The stables, there's even people sleeping in the stables.
Bummer.
What's that?
I said bummer.
You are told that they guess if you go to the upriver gate, which is here,
Okay.
you might be able to find something in the farmhouses surrounding this area.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, who are we talking to? A bartender, a waitress, the proprietor?
You can't get in the joint. These are people that are outside the joint waiting to get in and buy a ticket.
Huh. I don't want to wait.
There's a lot of people being turned away, and they come out cussing underneath their breath as they head to the Knightsbridge and go north, because they're not selling tickets here. They're selling tickets at the ticket office up by the Hall of Elders.
Okay.
And the Hall of Elders is where they've chosen to put Chef John so that he can relax and sleep and
Gotcha.
prepare everything he needs to prepare for tomorrow.
Well, if we want to get tickets, we better get going over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about this? If this place is sold out, I mean, I know Ember, you don't mind sleeping outside, but I think Regali, Frederick, and I would really like to have a bed. Do you guys want to go to the ticket office and then meet me at either the Dreaming Dragon or the Missing Minotaur, and I'll secure rooms for us? I know we're splitting the party already. Holy smokes.
Let's try the Missing Minotaur.
Okay. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll go there because it sounds like it's a little bit more my crowd. You three or one of you two want to come with me and two go get the tickets, or how do you want to work that?
I'll go with you if they want to get the tickets.
Sounds
Okay.
good to me.
Ember's pretty big. Might have a better time cutting through a crowd.
Okay. All right. So then you guys get the tickets. Frederick, you keep my money anyway because I might spend it on alcohol. And so you guys meet us at the Minotaur and we'll go get some rooms.
Alrighty.
Okay, so the Missing Minotaur is down River Gate. Like I told you, here in Everland, the further down the river you are, the poorer you are. And this is it's kind of a rough place. And when you two walk in, you're greeted with stares as they eye you up and down to see what kind of threat you would be. And when they realize you're not actually posing any threats, they go back to what they're doing.
Okay.
The ticket office across the Knightsbridge to the north, across the great big open market space, to the right of the Hall of Elders is a small window, and there is a huge line. And as you approach the Hall of Elders, you take your place in line, and the guy turns around and says, "Hey, they came out and tapped me and said that I was the last one."
Okay.
So, I mean, you can wait and we can have a nice conversation, but they'd already told me that this is it.
Alrighty.
Dum, dum, dum.
I'll believe him.
Are you going to stay and have a conversation?
I'll stay and have a conversation with Ember.
Oh, okay. All right. Back to the missing Minotaur. What do you want to do?
I guess we'll approach the bar and seek out the proprietor and ask about rooms for 4.
Yep. You got it. If you don't mind staying in the bunkhouse, that means bunk beds, everybody all together.
Fine with me.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
Oh, and the beds are kind of small. So
Well, we've got one member in our party who's pretty tall. There might be a little extra coin in it for you if you can find a bed to put in one of those rooms that's going to accommodate somebody who's pretty darn tall. And I describe Ember, she's about 6'10" or so.
tell you what, I've got some extra mattress pads. We'll just lay 2 end to end, and she can sleep on the floor.
I think that'll work.
All right.
What kind of entertainment you got here? And by the way, I'll have a beer.
Sure, you can have an ale, no problem. What do you have there, miss?
Not so interested in drinking myself at the moment. Do they have anybody playing music?
No. As a matter of fact, he tells you the last person that tried got chopped up quite badly.
Okay, here's the thing. Regali comes from a fishing village. And so she knows about every drinking song under the sun.
Yes.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is a place for soft whispers and hatched deals and plans.
Okay, fair enough.
You're more than welcome to move a table or stand on a table and start playing, you're told. But being such a, the fact that you're a female, I don't think they would take kindly to distractions and noise.
Okay, I'll hold it in reserve for the next time then.
Okay. So you're drinking ale and he gets you some nice spring water.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And he puts down in front of you some salted pretzel bread and this very pungent mustard.
Sounds like a pretty decent place, honestly.
Oh,
Wait, salted bread and mustard. Is this like pretzels? Yes.
it's the pretzel appetizer from one of the chain restaurants.
Yes.
Actually, it's a house specialty. They soak their bread. That's how they pretzel it in an alkali solution, and then they cook it from there, and it turns the outside very crispy, crunchy brown, and the inside gets crunchy as well. So then
Now, it's getting dark. Is the place filling up, or is it already kind of filled up?
well, the dinner crowd's gone.
Okay.
Everyone here right now is having light bites and drinks. You could see at least 2 tables who are trying to hold down the fact that they are here to get drunk as fast and as sloppily as they can.
I can appreciate that. All right.
But for the most part, everyone else is in 2s or 3s or 4s, and everyone keeps their voices low, and they keep their cowls up.
I'm gonna flag down one of the serving ladies and ask her if she knows.
They don't have serving ladies.
All right.
There is a dwarf that roams around the room, and he slaps people every once in a while. Everybody knows him as Busk,
Okay.
and Busk is very gruff. He's very mean. He doesn't have a good thing to say. If you could imagine a drunk Don Rickles just handing out insult after insult, but the people in a very Ed DeBevick's kind of way,
Yeah.
people are they kind of take to it.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Well, when Busk wanders over, I'll ask him if he knows when this thing with Chef John is going down.
Oh, damn that man. I hate Chef John. I wish he'd never come here.
Well, that didn't answer my question.
What'd he do?
He just turns the place upside down. I hate it. Why can't things just be the same all the time? He should have just stayed at the coast. Nobody wants his seafood fare here anyway.
What, from the Sword Coast?
Do you know another coast?
I don't know how to spell my name. Well, that's not
We've
true.
been over this.
That's
Except
not
not
true,
me.
Busk. Actually, that's not true, Busk. I just learned how to spell my name a few days ago. But I think that should give you an idea. So, no, I don't know any other coasts.
When I want any more talk out of you, I'll just do this.
Sounds
That's-
good. We'll keep our eyes open.
That's the O sign for Orion.
Okay. All right. Piss off.
I don't know how to make an R, so
Arr. All right. Well, I guess we're not going to get much out of him or Golly, so let's just sit tight and wait for Frederick and Ember, and hopefully they're not gone too long. Waiting
back
for
to
tickets.
Frederick and Ember. The line has moved quite steadily, and
Oh,
sure
good.
enough, you're about 6 people away. You would be the 7th person, and someone comes out and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. This person should have told you that after him we're sold out."
Yeah, he said that.
Yeah. We were just hoping maybe you had a extra one that you didn't see.
Sorry, no. There's only so many meals Chef John prepares and only so many tickets that we could sell. Now, it might be if you hang around that he would actually add on a day. Sometimes he does, and sometimes he's late for other things, so he has to leave. But it is possible.
I mean, if he's in town, may as well see.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll stick around.
I mean, not here. You stick around town,
Oh, yeah.
but don't, because,
Yeah,
the guys will come and they'll throw you in jail for loitering.
I got it.
Oh,
I mean, do what you want. I'm not
they
gonna
do
stop
that
you.
in town?
All right, fine, we're leaving.
He seems very satisfied with that, and him and his clean robes that he hikes up so they don't get dirty return back into the big walled building.
Well, Ember, that was a bust. Well,
Always looking for new ways to prepare food.
yeah. May as well see what Orion and Regali got over at the, what was that, the Missing Minotaur or something like that? Well, maybe they had better luck. We'll head that way.
Okay, you gonna go walk along the river, or are you gonna go actually into town and wind your way through?
I think it's walk around down by the river sounds kind of nice.
Okay, so you're walking down by the river. You head across the Knight's Bridge. You make a right. The docks are on your right. The town proper is on your left. You're passing shops, obviously closed at this point. You can see candles and lanterns lit on the second floor where most of the shopkeepers live. And you just pass a store called the Cheek and Sundry. And out pops this roly-poly, mustached, balding human, and he's got his arms full of what look like fresh mushrooms. And as he bounds down the steps with a big grin on his face, he drops 3 or 4 of them almost right at your feet.
Oh,
And he says, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Here, let me get those for you. His hands kind of seem full. So I'll collect them and
He picks up his apron and he just kind of piles everything into his apron like it's a ready-made pocket. And he says, I can't thank you enough.
oh, it's no problem. Name's Frederick.
Oh, my name is John. I'm a chef.
Remember, I cook sometimes too.
Ember, so nice to meet you. You are extremely tall.
I've heard that many times.
How do you get around?
Same as you. Just have to duck sometimes through doors.
I have to step sideways and suck it in.
I
Now,
like this.
forgive me if I'm wrong, but would you happen to be the same Chef John that is performing tomorrow?
Oh, performance. Oh, you flatter me. No, I grant food wishes.
Yeah, I heard that. Now, is that where somebody wishes for a certain type of food and you provide it, or is it food that provides wishes, or how does that go?
If I was to sit you down at a table, why don't you walk with me? I'm going to the Hall of Elders. That's where they're keeping me.
Oh, all right.
But I kind of snuck out because I needed some ingredients.
Ah,
So as you walk and talk, he tells you that if he was to set you down with a menu that had a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3, and that's all the menu said, and you told the waiter which number you wanted, by the time your food came out, that's what you wanted.
that's pretty
And
nifty.
and he tells you that's what happens when he's on. Okay? It's
Must
not that
be
you
something
don't have a choice. And this is what he tells you. It's not the illusion of choice. You've already made the choice. You just don't know that you've made it when you sit down at the table. So I give you the illusion of choice. And when the food comes out, it just so happens to be exactly what you were hungry for. And what in culinary terms we call it hits the spot.
Man,
Wow.
that sounds like something else. You know, me and my friends, we were planning on coming and seeing you, but they're sold out already. You're I guess, a hot ticket.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yes, well, if you would like, you and your friends can come and I will have a small dinner party here at the Hall of Elders.
Really?
And do you have perhaps more fancy clothes?
I'm sure I could scrounge something up.
Well, don't think too much of it. You'll be my personal guest.
Well, that is very generous of you.
I just why don't you give me an hour?
Oh,
And I
certainly.
should have things ready.
I guess we'll go get our friends and see if we can clean up a little bit. We've
All
just
right.
been out on the
Thank
road
you so much.
Yeah,
When you knock on the door, tell them you're here to see Newt,
Newt.
and that'll be the code word for "you're my invited guest."
Gotcha.
Nice.
All right.
Come to the southeast entrance, though, the one next to the ticket office windows,
Alrighty.
All right.
We'll do that.
and you're actually there because you have walked him and talked with him, and he says, "I'll see you in an hour."
Sounds like a plan.
All right. In the springtime, it gets dark around 7:38. It is now 8:30 when you guys arrive at the missing Minotaur, and you have 45 minutes before you're expected for dinner.
Hey, you guys. Any luck getting tickets?
Want to try some of this bread? It really hits the spot.
Oh, sure. Hey, that's pretty good. I like that mustard. Hey, but I'm getting
This place is
sidetracked.
specialty, local.
Getting sidetracked. Just so happens that we did not get tickets.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But we got something better.
But
What would you?
Yeah. Ember, you tell him.
we ran into Chef John, and he invited us
Get
to.
out of here.
Yeah,
It's true.
Well,
in like 45 minutes. We need to get cleaned up. Some of us, especially.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get the blood off my coat.
We've been on the road and
okay. Well, that sounds awesome.
let's head to the
Hello?
bunkhouse and clean up.
Yeah, let's clean up quick and head off to that entrance, and that's awesome, guys. You guys get way better than tickets.
Yeah.
About how long does it take to walk back there?
Oh, not long at all.
Okay.
7-8 minutes.
All right. So I guess we can retire to our room and do the best we can in the next, 20, 25 minutes and dust off and head back over.
I should be able to help out a little bit.
Prestidigitation.
Yeah, I was thinking the
This is
same
why.
thing.
Yes! All right. I didn't know if Regali had it or not. This is going to be the cleanest Orion has been in like years.
Oof.
I could just predict the weather and put out fires.
Well, are we going to have good weather or bad weather when we walk back?
I will do Druidcraft and check.
Okay. So Ember's gonna check on the weather. Regali's gonna clean us up, and then let's go see the Chef John. What did he look like?
You're expecting partly cloudy skies by morning, so it should be a pretty interesting sunrise.
Ooh, nice.
Oh man, I can't believe you guys got this. Set this up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well
So,
done.
Yeah.
Well,
A combination of luck and Frederick being so nice.
Oh man.
it generally tends to help.
Now I almost wish I hadn't eaten so much of that bread. It was so good.
You spent 3 silver at the Missing Minotaur.
Sure. Okay.
No charge for water.
So they're not European.
Good.
Okay.
Regali really likes water.
Ale is water.
And some other stuff.
I guess so. Once we're all
Yeah.
cleaned up, we'll make our way back.
Very exciting.
It is.
So as you walk into the Bell Market, there seems to be some kind of kerfuffle. Not a fight, but more of a shouting match. A group of people, none of them, drawn weapons or anything, but it seems to be some kind of disagreement as to price fixing of food in the city, because Chef John's here, that things have gone skyrocket in price. The farmers are happy, the merchants are not. So what you have on one side of the yelling is the Tathards Rose, and that is a cabal of merchants working here strictly for the purpose of enriching themselves. They do price fixing, they create shortages, and they share insider information, and they do a lot of spying. It just so happens on the other side are the Black Bucklers and Sarthan Shield. And these are adventurers, rogues, and warriors who have all thrown in together, and they are arguing that the money that you're getting from hiking prices because Chef John's here is not getting to the farmers. And so what you find the Black Bucklers and Sarthan Shield yelling is over and over again, WTF, WTF. Without the farmer, where's the food? And they have gotten most, if not all, of Tathards Rose out here. And the problem is the guards, the military, is actually being, shall we say, their salaries are enhanced by the Tattered Rose. So the soldiers are keeping Sarth and Shield and the Black Bucklers at bay because they want justice. And Tattered Rose has the military and the police on their side. As you come into the Bell Market, which is that big open area, and you have to go through this group in order to get to where you're going, unless you want to go all the way around, which is totally doable if you wanted to. But that's the situation.
Okay. Do we bully our way through, or do you?
Are you? Because you're going to be stopped.
No, I'm talking to my party members here. Do we
Oh.
bully our way through, or do we go around, or I don't know. I don't want to miss this private meeting with this dude.
They seem pretty upset.
This looks like it could go south.
It does.
It does have that feeling.
It-
The anger does seem to be rising, yes.
and if it goes south, you know that we're gonna get drawn into it. And even though it might not last long, my clothes haven't looked this good in a long time.
I don't think we can clean out rips.
Yeah.
So
I'm suddenly regretting not taking persuasion. Ugh.
I mean, I don't want you to get me wrong. You could totally avoid the Bell Market just by going down some side streets and alleys, but
Right.
We came into the Bell Market and these two sides are arguing. Are we like currently standing behind one of the groups?
you're just across the Knightsbridge when you see this ahead of you and you can hear what they're talking about, and you're just behind you is another crowd outside the Stag at the Bay, and this is a little worrying because those people are disgruntled as it is because there's no more tickets. So they've actually gotten their ire up. So this would be like gasoline on the fire. If these guys took to noticing what was going on exactly.
Okay.
I get the distinct feeling that this is gonna get ugly really fast.
I'm going to start playing my viol. I'm going to use enthralling performance. On the edge of the crowd, you said, without the farmer, where's the food?
Without the farmer, where's the food?
Okay, I'm going to start singing a song along those lines near the crowd and see if any of them listen because I'm propagating their message.
All right, so I'm going to make one wisdom saving throw for each group.
And after having sung, I'm going to recommend that everyone get some sleep. Chef John is only here for a few days, and then we can all go back to business tomorrow. And if the farmers aren't getting money for their food, maybe people should go buy directly from the farmers.
buy direct, cut out the middleman.
Exactly.
Regali, the voice of reason.
So we'll see if any of that works.
There's a lot of slapping going on. and I'm going to say a man dressed rather darkly with a full hood, moving faster than you would think possible, as graceful as an elf, slides up next to you, Regali, and says, "Stop what you're doing right now."
Orion.
I'm just trying to de-escalate. What's the matter?
Let it happen, girl. Let it happen.
Orion is going to slide himself between this guy and Regali and say, "You should back away."
And
People
at
could get hurt.
and at this point, you're going to roll for initiative.
Sorry, guys. I tried
What
to
is happening?
Orion, I rolled a 14.
Nine.
Frederick got a 7.
Woo! Ely got 15, which is
Ooh.
incredible because she has no initiative modifier.
Ely can start singing the Eye of the Tiger.
All right. Since you leveled up, Orion, what's your armor class?
15.
And passive perception.
11.
And max hit points.
30. 30.
Regali, what's your armor class?
My armor class is only 11.
Passive perception?
My passive perception is 15.
Hit point max?
19.
Aw. And
She's-
Ember.
She's not very sturdy.
She's
Uh,
fishy.
AC 15, HP 27, passive perception 14.
Frederick.
HP is 22. Armor class is 18. Passive perception is 14.
And Orion, what'd you roll for initiative?
14.
Regali.
15.
Ember.
9.
Frederick.
7.
Some of us should see about getting better armor.
Yeah.
Or a
All right.
shield, maybe?
I'm magically enhanced. Don't
Yeah.
use me as a ruler.
All right. An old man, 60s you would guess, with a beard, kind of scruffy, looks like a cleric, comes up behind you seemingly out of nowhere because nobody's passive perception was high enough except maybe Regali's. But the roll for his ability to not be seen was too high.
Okay.
And he touches Orion on the shoulder. And he says, "Pardon me." He turns to the big, tall, black-dressed guy and says,
Ah!
"This little one's not worth the effort. Now come, let me get you something." And the guy dressed in black takes a swipe. And the guy holds up an arm and the knife slides right past his hand, does something to that other guy's hand, and then he wraps around and he kind of puts the guy in a wrist lock. And he looks at Orion and he goes, "Wherever you're going, now would be the time to leave."
I know my eyes are seeing the guy can take care of himself, but I'm seeing an old man who's sticking up for me. Oh.
Shady dude trying to stab people.
He's got an actual knife.
It's on the ground now.
It's on the ground.
The guy who was dressed in black, kind of elf looking,
Yep.
he's actually on one knee, and his arm is bent behind him, and he's doing this like his shoulder's about to pop.
Just to be clear, who was he trying to take a swipe at?
The old guy.
Okay, so man in black took a swipe at old guy, and old guy basically put him
Disarmed him.
Yeah.
Disarmed him and put him in a wrist lock that he cannot get out of.
Okay.
Whose turn is it?
It is Regali's turn.
Oh.
Okay. Then I will take Orion's elbow because you stepped in front of me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And sort of whisper, if we start fighting now, it could be the beginning of a riot. Let's listen to him and go.
I'm not a smart man, but I do have decent wisdom, and I see the wisdom in your words. Okay. Although a fight would have been fun.
It would have been fun. But we still have time to make it to dinner.
But yeah, I'm super hungry. So fight, hunger. Okay, hunger wins. I will let Regali lead me away.
Ember, shall we?
That's adorable.
So it looks like we're gonna make our way through the angry crowd. Although is the crowd still angry, or have they calmed down since Regali sang them a soothing little song?
They are keeping their distance. No weapons except for the ones that you can see polearm wise that the militia has,
Okay.
which they have at the ready, but they're not threatening anybody.
Okay. Well, we will try to make our way through and arrive at our rendezvous on time and still clean.
Impressed.
All right, so you knock on the door opens, and there's two youngish boys dressed in very fancy robes, and they look at you and go, "What do you want?"
We're here to see Newt. Wink.
I don't know what that means. You want a newt?
We were invited here by Newt as a guest.
Yeah, we're guests of Newt.
No,
Wink.
I don't know newt. What is newt?
The chef?
What about the chef? I don't understand.
Is there someone else who's normally at the door?
And at this point, the one who's not talking to you turns around and points at somebody and says,
I whispered, Ember, did you guys forget the code name? Is it Salamander?
Are you sure it wasn't Salamander?
That's the only other small lizard I can think of. Apparently the same thing.
So
we're here to see Salamander.
the boy who's not talking to you, who motioned somebody over, now looks up like there's somebody extremely tall, and you see this hand come out touch him on the head and move him out of the way. The door opens wider and you see standing before you in all his glory, a paladin of Tyr standing there, weapon at his side, one arm on the door. And he looks at you all and he says, "What?"
Hi. We were told to come here and ask to see Newt.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Come on in.
Oh, thanks.
How does
Hey,
his
come on,
height
guys.
compare to Ember's? Just like,
I'm sorry?
how does his height compare to Ember's?
Well, normally on a good day, he's 6'6" in his stocking feet, but in full regalia like he has on, he's about 6'9".
I didn't know that platform uniforms came with, or paladin uniforms came with platform shoes.
How tall are you, Ember?
6'10".
Okay. So yeah, with his helmet,
A little bit.
if he put his helmet on, yeah.
Got that
you
little
are-
feather.
Yeah,
I've
you
got
are.
envisioned in my mind the boots the guys from Kiss used to wear in the 70s. Big old platform
Yeah.
boots.
You are escorted through the Hall of Elders. There seems to be some kind of special forces military barracks here. They're all seated at tables, laughing, joking, playing games. There is 3 stories, but they're kind of tiered. You are taken through a main office area upstairs where you can hear there's a party going on. And sure enough, as you arrive, there's this big banquet hall, lots of people seated, lots of people having just an uproariously good time. And there are a group of similarly dressed people that are moving drinks and food around. And you are seated at a table that says reserved. And then underneath that is a picture of a newt.
Wow.
What I tell you.
Well, good job, Frederick. Good job.
It's
Ember.
not the best location table, but hey, you're here. And
Pretty good for
these-
picking up 3 mushrooms.
Exactly. And these people are all various orders and guilds and nobility levels, adventure levels. It's just a whole gambit. But it doesn't take you long to realize that you're probably the lowest ranking people here as far as having fame and fortune.
But we're here.
That's
We're-
okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, same
We're
thing. But we're
We have
here.
no problem with this.
You are indeed given what you want to drink. Drink orders come. It takes them a little bit longer than what you're used to. And you are all given a menu, and on the menu is a number 1, a number 2, and a number 3.
Oh, man, he was serious about that. Well, that's nifty.
Oh, boy.
How am I supposed to choose? I'm going to roll for it.
All right, that's what I'm doing.
Frederick, do you remember what he told you?
He said, whichever you pick is what you want by the time it gets here.
It's exactly what you're gonna want by the time he gets here. All right,
Why do I feel like we're all being like hypnotized to want what we're ordering?
I'm gonna roll. If I roll a 4, I'll re-roll. Let's see if it's a 1, 2, or 3.
Oh, that
I
sounds
rolled a
fun.
3.
I'll do that too. I rolled a 3.
Yay!
The 2. But I'm rolling a d6 and dividing in half.
Oh,
Ooh,
you know,
Ember's
fancy.
getting fancy in here.
Fancy with the math. Something I can't do.
Yet another thing I can't do.
I can't read. I can't write. I can't do math. I'm like a gully dwarf.
Basic arithmetic.
I rolled a 2. So I'll order the number 2.
Close.
2 3s, 2 2s.
2 3s and 2 2s, okay.
Yep.
I wonder what number 1 is now.
Man,
The similarly dressed half-elf waiter that you have, he introduces himself as Var. And Var thanks you, takes your order, and he scuttles off away. And you guys are, I mean, there seems to be several large, boisterous men who want to shake hands and meet other people. It's kind of a networking opportunity, if you had to guess. And there was a particularly large, late 40s, graying at the temples gentleman who walks over to your table, and he picks up the reserve sign, and he goes, "Is that a newt?"
It most certainly is.
Oh,
There was
so,
some debate over salamanders, but yes, we believe it's a newt.
so is this? Are you guys magic users or?
Various degrees of adventure and types.
I'm Danny Rack, and I own an adventuring company. We do certain missions for money. And are you all just starting out? You seem so young.
Guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only 17. I've been on my own since the age of 7, though. So I got 10 years of real life experience.
Interesting. Well, I tell you what, let's see what you can do, but obviously not here during the party. But let me give you my card. My name
I'll
is
take
Danny.
it because I can.
My name is Danny Rack, and I have a Danny Rack Adventuring Company.
Okay.
Wonderful. Very nice to meet you.
Danny, nice to
It's-
meet you. Do you want
thank
to
you.
sit down and have a drink with us?
Oh, no. I have way too much to do, but you all enjoy yourselves. I'm sure this is going to be quite fantastic.
All right.
Alrighty.
We'll take you up on your offer tomorrow.
Okay, excellent. Don't get too drunk.
Orion.
All right.
We'll watch him.
In about a half hour of you guys eating or having appetizers and drinking and listening to conversation, Chef John and 3 of those similarly dressed serving people come to your table, and Chef John slides a plate right in front of Frederick, pats him on the back, and says, "I'm so glad you guys could come."
Oh yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you so much for your invite.
Oh,
Yes.
you're very, very welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We had to set the table up special, but they didn't mind doing it for me. Please enjoy. And there's no other way to explain Chef John's cooking except that it is indeed the finest meal that you've had in an extremely long time. And if you remember that scene in Ratatouille where the food critic gets zoomed back to his childhood because it's a throwback meal, this kind of does the same thing to you. Whatever your warmest, dearest memory, fondest memory of your childhood, eating-wise, culinary-wise is concerned, that's what you taste. And it escorts you back to a blissful time in your life when you didn't have a care in the world and everything was always taken care of for you.
I failed my constitution check and start crying.
Niagara Falls.
I just want to say I'm glad you brought up Ratatouille because when we first couldn't get tickets, I briefly had the idea to do that.
Nice.
Okay?
Quick.
So
Hang on.
everybody's meal came out in waves. Yours was the first, and everyone's eyes were on you as you were eating because they wanted to see your reaction. That seems to be a thing.
They saw
And
me
so-
cry.
Yeah. By the time they get to the back corner table, you guys are just wrapping up and you're having your aperitif. Some people weep. Some people laugh. Some people get very melancholy and dreamy. But it seems to have an effect on everyone who eats. And so during dessert, you realize that things have gone extremely quiet. Everyone's just kind of digesting their thoughts and their meal. And as soon as you start finishing dessert, you can see it almost in the same wave that everyone was served. They start to come back to life again.
Welcome back. We had a brief power outage last week. For those of you who are eagle-eyed, Dennis is no longer wearing a red shirt, and I'm no longer wearing my Hulk t-shirt. But power is back. Frederick is back with us, and I will turn it over to Dennis to continue our experience with Chef John.
Yum.
So, dessert, not what you were expecting, but then again, it was exactly what you had to eat. Just kind of put a finishing touch on the whole meal for you. So as you're sitting there and you're watching this whole thing transition over the entire dining hall, it occurs to you that you've seen this kind of thing before. This is almost like one big area of effect spell. Anyway, it's time for brandy and cigars. The females are escorted to a different room while the men get up and, for the most part, light up. And they all start shuffling off into the library.
Okay. Well,
Now,
Orion, for one, will certainly enjoy a cigar and maybe a brandy.
Okay. Regali?
I guess I'm going with the other ladies. Ember?
Sure.
Okay. So splitting the party,
Again.
Ember and Regali go with the females, and Frederick and Orion are having a great time. People are telling, men are telling stories. Women are gossiping. When Regali is the first one who runs into it, but this rather snooty high elf talking about how she gave money to a cause. And his name is Count Rulin, and he is collecting funds to go to the Sleeping Dragon.
Oh,
He thinks he's figured out how to open up the swirl.
what's the swirl?
Are you asking?
Yes.
Okay. She says, I'm sure I don't know, but the Count is very persuasive. And Frederick and Orion, you're standing around smoking and drinking, and you hear a man working the crowd. And what he's doing is he's set up a particular interesting plan that he can go to the Sleeping Dragon and open up the swirl. And now every once in a while you'll hear him, and then when people listen to him, they'll just start laughing.
Okay.
Okay? He's got two little cronies walking around with him, but they don't look very, shall we say, experienced in the ways of things outside polite society. So like they've never been camping in their life, that kind of thing. Anyway, he's making his way around, and when he walks up to Orion, he kind of looks him up and down, and then he just keeps moving on.
Huh.
Regali and Ember, it doesn't take you long to realize that a lot of high society women have given money to this cause.
Can we spot anyone who conspicuously doesn't seem to have given money to this cause? Maybe trying to change the subject, or just looking uncomfortable?
Yes. There are quite a number of women who poo-poo the entire idea of adventuring.
I'm gonna find somebody who might be willing to talk to me and ask them what is all this about the Sleeping Dragon and opening up the swirl.
You're
What's this
going
about?
to work the room.
I am going to try to work the room, yes.
Whose charisma's higher, you or Frederick?
Probably Frederick.
Probably. I got a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Frederick,
see, Warlock
So,
or
Hey, Frederick, go charm
Yeah.
somebody and find out what this sleeping dragon and the swirl is. I mean, I could talk to him, but
investigation would also work if you've got nice intelligence.
is that a shot at me with my 9 intelligence?
Hey man, I just I ask for rolls. I don't ask who makes them.
Ryan is very good at punching.
Yes.
so good at punching. Just the best at punching.
He's really good. He's
Hey,
really good at punching.
So good.
I also throw headbutts and elbows and knees.
They wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave the sweet talking to Frederick because I think he's gonna do a better job at it than old knuckle dragger Orion.
So Frederick and then Ember and Regali, who's going to be the investigator here?
Was it investigation you said or insight? Sorry.
Investigation or insight, whichever one you prefer.
I have a pretty high insight. What about you, Ember?
If it's with people, it should be with you.
Okay.
I'll handle the animals.
Sounds
All right.
good.
So the roll-off is between Regali and Frederick.
Oh, wait, no. That's the dice that killed me. Don't
What?
kill me.
What?
Nothing. Ignore that.
Here we go.
Nat 20.
Nat 1.
So
That's
Ember and
23.
Regali get kicked out.
Oh.
I wanted to find out how Chef John cooked this great stuff.
Like middle school all over again.
Ember, if you're actually looking to talk with Chef John, he's actually eating with the kitchen staff. He cooks them a special meal as well.
Aw, well, that's a pretty good guy. That's a pretty good guy right there.
Yeah, somebody who takes care of the help. It's a good guy.
All right. So Regali, you're going to go with Ember and have a nice little chat with Chef John.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll thank him profusely for the invite and the food and everybody else for their help and support.
Okay. So Frederick, you approach a man. He seems to be dressed in a lot of red, and you start to ask him questions, and he goes, and he looks right inside of his suit coat, pinned to the inside of his pocket is a harp, a gold harp.
Ooh.
And he says, "Oh, sorry, for a second there, I thought that was showing. What is it you want to know about the sleeping dragon?"
Well, I've been hearing a lot about it recently, and I heard something called about the swirl. And I was wondering if you had any bit of information about that, because that does sound interesting.
Well, mind you, I've never been there myself, but
Me either.
legend holds that on your way west, if you travel through the Troll Moors, there's a special area of significance where nothing larger than a fox has ever been seen.
Hmm.
And if you keep traversing, and you'll find yourself going down into some low ground, it becomes very rocky and very, very dirt covered, hard packed dirt with rocks. And as you continue, it'll open up into this tiny valley. And there in front of you, off in the distance, you'll notice a floating potato. Except this potato is about 25 feet long.
That's some potato.
And it's said the first time you visit the sleeping dragon. You can open up the doors, try to figure out how to open up the doors. And inside are usually treasures, both benign and beneficial. Not benign, but what's the other one? Hazardous?
That's one way of putting it.
Now, the other
Only-
rumor going around is that if you try to cast any magic or use magic around the sleeping dragon, you will get transported away. Just poof, you're gone somewhere else. Usually within the same, I mean, not even a quarter mile away, but so yeah, that's the thing. Now there's 3 doors that we know of. There's a swirl that looks like it's supposed to be a door, but nobody's ever been able to figure out how to open it. So nobody knows what's underneath there. I could tell you one thing. There's a once you get the lid open on the biggest one, there's usually a dead body in there
Really?
wrapped up. Sometimes it's just bones, and sometimes it's just a floating eyeball. The other 2 doors that you can open, usually in one, there's 10 slots, and there's usually potions in there. Sometimes there's a lot, sometimes there's none, sometimes there's a few. And then the middle sized door, if you can get it open, there's usually a chest with some weird things in it that you may find useful or you may not. But people say that if you've been to the Sleeping Dragon before, you will find absolutely nothing. It's only your first time that you go that you will find something. And like I said, if you're looking for a place to camp, this would be it, because nobody has ever seen any creature larger than a fox within, I would say, 300, 400, 500 feet of this thing.
Wow. I tell you, that is an amazing story.
Now the Count over here, he's collecting up funds to pay for protection to take him out there. He thinks he's got a new scheme to open up the swirl.
I tell you, that sounds interesting. Gotta say.
Hmm?
Sir, you have just been a wealth of information. I do appreciate you telling me that.
Happy to oblige.
Thank you very much. I'll head back over to Orion, relate the information. Now, see that guy going around getting that money? He's got some scheme to open up some big old flying tater and get loot out of it.
Like high loot. Should we?
Can you believe that?
I don't know.
Well,
Do we race
thing
them
is-
there? Do we race them there and get there first, or
Well-
do we go with him?
Apparently it's kind of hard to open. He's got some scheme he thinks is going to open it. And apparently there's like some other doors on it, but it only works the first time you go there. So I don't really know how he figured that out without, I imagine it would be like trial and error, but maybe that's the whole point, is that if you go there and you don't already know how to do it, it don't work. But anyway, he's trying to get some protection, and that's why he's gathering up the money to pay for some protection. I figure 4 of us, we're not no pushovers.
No. I like where I'm picking up what you're putting down.
As long as you don't ask the silk merchant.
I say we go get Regali and Ember and talk to them before we go talk to this blowhard and offer our services.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I
Because
mean,
then we can,
I don't want to sign Ember and Regali up to something that they don't want to.
well, yeah. But and maybe it'd be better if we was all together when we approached him so that he could see all of us, see what,
Yeah. All right.
And speaking of Ember, what is it you want to know from Chef John?
Just any advice he has for cooking and making such wonderful meals.
He tells you that back when he first started, he was he would cook stuff and it would be fine, and he could sell his meals, or he could be employed as a chef somewhere. But it wasn't until he started writing things down in this particular book. And as soon as you see it, you recognize it as being just a regular old wizard spell book. But for some reason, the way Chef John writes, the book is interpreting his recipes almost like they were magic spells. Now, Chef John doesn't quite understand the magic himself, but he doesn't put any recipes that he doesn't like in the book.
So they're becoming rituals. He's developing. That's awesome.
It truly is the magic of cooking.
Aw.
We're gonna have to pick
Let's not
him.
spoil this for him. He's got a good thing going.
Yeah. We'll have to see if I can find a spell book of my own, though.
Oh, now there's a thought. After that meal, I will not argue.
So on his linen napkin, he jots down 4 of his favorites, recipes that he makes just from walking around in the woods.
Oh, very nice.
He's so sweet.
So that'll get you started.
Thank you very much, Chef John.
Okay. Now go away. I'm trying to eat.
Of course. We scram.
And it is kind of obvious Chef John loves to eat. So
You did say that he had to turn sideways. All right, well, let's see if we can find Regali and Ember and tell them what's going on.
almost as if by TV magic, Ember and Regali come out of the backdoor kitchen about the same time as Frederick and Orion are exiting the very smoky library.
Oh, did you guys get kicked out too?
No.
No, not exactly, but
Neither did we. Not at all. Okay.
Actually-
nobody offended anybody.
Actually, Frederick found something out, some pretty cool news, and maybe a job for us, but before we accepted it, we wanted to run it by you guys.
yeah.
Oh,
All
do
right.
tell.
Now, there's a feller in there looking for treasure out of Tater. That's a big fine one that, has like a spiral swirl on it. And he's got some scheme to get it open and see what's inside. And right now he's going around collecting money for protection to get to it.
We can do protection.
Well,
Okay. So last time wasn't great. But
No.
I think it's worth trying again.
yeah, second time's the charm. We got this.
I think it's worth it. I mean, we learned from our mistakes. We're a little bit better at our jobs.
We haven't lost a fight, to be fair.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And as far as I know, this guy ain't carrying anything with him. So, I mean, it's a little bit less to protect, just a guy and his cohorts.
Should we check if there's any potions of wakefulness around before we leave?
I think that's called coffee.
Ember,
Does coffee exist?
Ember,
Or
we're not
one
looking
brown
at
morning potion.
you. We may be looking at you, Ember. So,
I got the watch thing covered now.
All right. Well, like I said, we didn't want to speak for you two, but I think this is a pretty good opportunity.
Absolutely. We should probably get in there before he hires somebody else.
Okay.
Well, he was only in there fundraising.
I meant
This is not
in
the.
for the opportunity, not.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's send Frederick back in because he's the one with the silver tongue.
I don't know about that.
Oh, come on! Don't be humble. And Frederick, see if you can scrounge us up a contract.
All right.
So
Yeah,
Frederick
go see.
reaches for the doorknob, and the door opens on its own, and out pops the Count. Evidently, he's been not so fruitful, and he's cussing up a storm underneath his breath as he almost runs right into Frederick. Oh, dude, pardon me, dear boy, pardon me.
Oh, that's all right. Hey, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that you were looking for some, how I would say it, some muscle to help
Muscle.
you on an excursion.
Oh, yes. Quite right.
Well, what if I told you that I and my friends right over here happen to be a fine group of adventurers that could help you out?
Indeed. And how much adventuring have you done, dear boy?
Well, I tell you, we've done enough to get us all the way from, well, me and my friend Orion over here. We've come from Luskin all the way down here. Regali, she's all the way from the Sword Coast. Ember, she's a powerful druid of the forest. I tell you what, we can get you a good deal.
Well, I must say, that sword you have there dangling at your hip, that does seem quite respectable. However, I'm a bit worried about your friend over there without any weapons whatsoever.
Oh, I tell you, if he used a weapon, wouldn't even be fair.
Oh, quite right. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Why don't you stop by my, I actually have a showcase right there, Philp Street, right off the main market square there. You can't miss it.
5th Street off the Market Square. Alrighty.
What time?
We'll see you in the morning, dear boy.
Alrighty.
All right. We'll be
We'll
there.
meet you there. Yeah.
We can partake in second breakfast.
All right. Well, we'll be there. And, yeah. We'll be there and you won't be disappointed.
Excellent. All right, then I will see you tomorrow at 10-ish.
Sounds good to me.
Correct. And he bustles out the door.
Yeah. Good to meet you, Count.
Yes, and you too, dear boy.
All right. Well, good
Got him,
job,
guys.
Frederick.
We got him.
I think this is a cause for a little celebration. Let's head back to the missing Minotaur and have a little celebration and get some
Not too
sleep.
much celebrating for you. We got to be up at 10, and I know.
I'll be good. I'll be good.
All right.
So, I think we'll head back to the missing Minotaur. And you know what, Regali? I don't care what that bartender said. I think you should sing at the missing Minotaur. I mean, you know all the good drinking songs. Who
Feeling
doesn't-
as good as I am now, I don't see why not.
Who doesn't like drinking songs?
I can't think of nobody. Let's go.
Let's go. God, I hope those two groups of people are gone.
Yeah, the people
So-
who were,
Yeah, the farmers, the farmer faction and the merchant faction. I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want any downers. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling pumped up. Go have some ales and listen to some drinking tunes.
and the, what was it, assassins or whatever that scared us off.
The old man took care of him.
When you get outside into the open air market, the only thing left is the protest, and it's the WTF crowd.
Okay.
All
And
right.
all they're doing is just making noise.
Okay.
Fair enough.
That's a little better than right on the edge of killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Certainly better than property damage.
Or any type of wide scale riot.
Don't know what you're talking about. Let's keep going.
Yeah. So, is the missing Minotaur filled up at this late hour at night, or is it
It
still
is.
kind of?
It is. It's getting fuller by the second. Your biggest issue right now is actually finding a place to sit.
Well, I do believe I can solve that problem. I'm gonna go find a suitable table with 4 chairs and inform the occupants there that it's time for them to wrap up their evening.
Oh, really?
Orly,
Oh no.
Regali, Amber, let's just stand back and watch.
Who are
Okay.
you picking on first, I should ask?
I'm not. I just need a table with 4 chairs.
Are you looking for somebody tough, or are you looking for somebody like weak?
I'm looking for someone. I'm looking for someone tough. I'm a pugilist.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go pick
Yeah,
on a
there you
little
go.
guy. So I'll try to be diplomatic and intimidate them first.
Is he going to pick those big guys over there?
So you're going to pick one of the least intimidatable people and intimidate them.
That's my sound logic. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Plus, wait, I'm thinking about Ember. Ember's tall. The big guys over there have big, sturdy chairs, and Ember needs a sturdy chair. So you're welcome, Ember.
Yeah. This is all about Ember. You know, pure consideration on your part. No ulterior motives at all.
Nope.
At
Nope.
all.
Not at all. So,
Except-
boop. I believe you're sitting at my table.
How tall are you?
That's a good question. I think my care's 6'3".
Okay. For just such an emergency,
Oh boy.
Roll initiative.
No, I'm gonna try intimidation first.
Yeah, intimidation never.
I will let you roll your own demise. So roll percentiles
Oh,
and then roll a d20 plus your, did you say intimidation?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. 44 was my percentile, and I rolled an 11 for my intimidation.
plus?
It's better than a 10.
What was your percentile?
44.
I feel like when you're looking at percentile tables, every time it's like 44, where it sounds like you're saying a number of Ds, like the slot on the table should involve rolling 4 D4s. Like there should be smaller table on all of those.
I'm curious to see what kind of brute I've picked on.
All right. So
So
there's a human sitting next to a halfling, sitting next to, well, that's interesting. Another human.
Is that interesting?
That's a hell of a backstory. Reginald Slade stands up and he wants to know if you want to die inside the bar or outside the bar.
Gee.
Well,
And
Remember,
Then
we
the
have
half-
a doctor with us.
very, very far outside.
then the halfling stands up on his chair and says, Reginald, I'll take care of this. And Reginald goes like this. All right. And he sits
Whoa!
back down.
Okay.
Shartan Lipton Toes introduces himself and says, would you like to die here or would you like to die somewhere else?
You are more than welcome to try here.
And he goes, all right. And he holds his hand out and he goes, gentleman's agreement. No nards, no hair pulling, nothing permanent.
I reach out to shake his hand and crack him in the face. There's no gentleman's agreement.
Wow.
Oh my god!
So roll for initiative, just you two, unless somebody's going to jump in.
We'll let it play out for a little bit.
Yeah.
He has a point. The guy did plagiarize his friend's line. So, like, he isn't that great a gentleman.
My initiative roll was a 13. Oh, is that bad luck? It's a 13.
Still
That's the
think
bartender
that's
for an
more
ale.
gentlemanly than sucker punching someone to steal their table.
Actually, I'm going to roll initiative after all. Okay, 9.
Shotgun. Orion's in what, 12?
13.
13?
Yep.
Okay. Regali?
9.
You guys leveled up to 3, right?
Yes.
What's your armor class, Orion?
15.
Max hit points?
30. 3-0.
And Regali, armor class?
11.
Max hit points?
19.
I'm sorry, what?
19. I am a delicate flower.
Wow.
All right. Shartan, you've knocked him off his chair, but something funky happened with the chair and he landed just right. And now everyone is like, ooh, it's on, and everybody makes room for you guys. The table gets slid out of the way. His 3 compatriots are still, they got up and moved their chairs, but they sat back down. It seems to you like people are giving them a rather wide berth, but they are continuing to drink. And Shartan gets ready. He starts moving. He starts grooving. And I think, Orion, you're a human, right?
Correct.
So you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, yes!
So you'll take half of this electrical damage.
Ooh, electrical damage?
Ooh.
I'd say that's not fair, but, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody wanted to throw all the rules out?
Yeah.
That was you, right?
Yeah. But he didn't want any hair pulling and shots to the groin.
And then you decided to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
So your
That was a lot of dice.
it's fine. Your
Dice.
what?
For level 3, that's not a small amount of dice.
Oh, I'm sorry. He did tell me he was picking on somebody tough, right?
I did.
Very specifically.
Yeah. I made this bed. I'm going to sleep in it.
If you're lucky.
He's also the one who wanted to go to the inn in the rough part of town.
True.
So Half of 21 is just 10.
Okay.
And as you take this lightning bolt to your chest and then just kind of shake it off, the entire bar goes, ooh.
All right, it's on. We gonna get it on because we don't get along. His chair is still nearby.
No, they moved it over with everything else.
Is it within my
Correct?
grasp?
Yes, you can grasp it, yes.
Okay, this is a barroom fight. I'm gonna grab that chair and crack it over his head.
Oh, you don't know how much one of them there things cost. Gee.
And I rolled a 22 to hit.
Gee.
And you specifically wanted a table with 4 chairs. Now it doesn't have 4 chairs.
Does that hit?
He's the one sitting on the floor. If he wins.
Let's see. What was your actual roll?
A 16.
Okay. And so go ahead and do your damage.
Okay, that's 11 points of damage.
And do you have another attack?
I do. So I'm gonna smack him with the chair, and then with my bonus, I'm going to kick him in the chest, and I'm going to miss spectacularly.
Regali.
Yes. So I pull out my vial and pull the bow across the string, making a high held note. Dun, 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 dun. I'm giving mood music for the fight. Go ahead and take a bardic inspiration, Ryan.
Woo! And what does bardic inspiration give me?
A D6 that you can use anytime in the next 10 game minutes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Don't worry about holding on to it too long. I can give you more after you've used it.
It's on any D20 roll, I think.
Okay. Now, my big concern, everybody went, ooh, when I took the lightning bolt to the chest. Did anybody go, ooh, when I hit him with the chair?
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh. They've seen that one before.
Yeah, it's standard.
It's a classic.
Oldie but a goodie.
Yep.
Some things are cliche for a reason.
No, I can't do that. I don't think this guy wants you dead.
Give it time.
You only just met.
He hits you again. 23. Dexterity saving throw for half.
I rolled with my modifier, a 20.
Okay, so you take half, which is 11.
Okay. Now, hang on 1 second.
Man, you guys, that Duke is going to so want to hire us when we show up looking like we lost a bar fight.
Only one of them.
Just one of us, and Ryan always looks that way.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn 2 Moxie points. I'm going to use my reaction to reduce the damage Well, I should ask this. What did he hit me with? Was it a spell or a melee attack?
It's a lightning bolt.
Oh, another
Spell.
lightning bolt?
Yep.
Poop. Okay, so I can't use cross counter. In that case, I will use my reaction to do my bloody but unbowed. And I'm going to gain some temporary hit points that are equal to my pugilist level, which is 3, plus my con, which is 3. So I'm back plus 6 hit points up to 17.
Nice.
And with that, does he have... Well, you know what? I'm just going to hit him again with the chair. A 15 plus 6, so that's a 21 to hit. Because
Hey.
I still have the chair.
Damage.
And that's another 11 points. And then I will, wait a second here. Now I will burn a moxie point to do 2 more strikes. One is going to miss, the other I rolled a total 15. I don't know if that hits.
15 does not hit him.
Oh, crap. Okay.
You have Bardic.
Oh, I do!
I don't know why I'm helping.
Yes! Add a 6 to the 15 for 21, so that does hit.
Okay, damage.
And that's a kick to the nards for 12 points. Don't tell
Really
me.
should just let him learn his lesson.
Don't tell me no kicks to the nards.
That's his go-to move.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Okay, so I've gone through one. All right.
And he's picking on someone half his size.
All right. He's got one more.
No.
You've got 9 left, right?
No, he's up to...
Hit points?
Yeah.
No, I'm up. I'm at 17.
What'd you heal yourself with?
The feature that I have called Bloodied but Unbowed.
So how many did you get back?
A total of 6.
So you're at 15.
You hit me the first one for 10 points, which dropped me to 20. Oh, then mine. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, 15. You're correct. Sorry,
That's hard.
it is.
Dexterity saving throw for half, otherwise you're out.
Ooh, I don't think I made it. 8.
Oh.
And you fall to the ground with this little tendrils of smoke coming out of your chest and you're twitching. The bartender's yelling at Frederick, you owe me for a chair. And
I didn't break it.
well,
I didn't
Right, so
break it.
Go check to make sure Ryan's not dying.
Shartan looks over to Frederick and says he might need your help. And the fight being over, the crowd tries to bustle back in and things are being put back where they were and there's uproarious laughter.
Yes. Got my
So
point.
laughter and noise being what it is, I'm going to try now for a drinking song.
You're getting a drink?
No, I'm trying to play a drinking song and see
Oh.
if anybody will join in. Taking this
Perform-
moment when they're in
So-
high spirit.
Performance check, please.
$17.
You hear people yelling at you, no bards, no bards. And then,
All right, they don't like bards here.
wow, I rolled 3 4s on 3 D4s. You are dodging tankards and one still aflame fag from the fireplace. Would you like to continue?
No, I'm going to bed.
Ember, you got something to help up Orion with?
Do I,
I'll just
do I
I'll just
need to
carry
start-
Orion to his bed.
Wait. Do I need to make some death saving throws here, or?
Well, I said I'll check to make sure he's not dying first.
Forget Orion. I'm the one that's been wounded. My pride.
My pride.
You're gonna go cry yourself to sleep.
I got a 23 on medicine.
Okay, so you're stabilized.
Okay.
You got a scorch mark in whatever it was you were wearing, or do you fight without a shirt?
Ryan basically wears like a leather vest thing, but with nothing on underneath. So think like a biker.
Okay.
So
So
I've
you-
got a nice scorch mark on my skin.
You're literally wearing a biker's leather cut.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, good. And
Well, hang
Yeah.
on. Before I go to bed.
You're already out.
You're
Well,
unconscious.
somebody.
We stabilized you. We didn't wake you up.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I purposely am not waking you up.
Can I roll con to see if I wake up?
You
After the
just want to
medicine
get
check?
hungover
Yeah,
by
after the medicine check.
um, after that amount of damage,
We are only 3rd level.
I know. I'm not gonna pick another fight.
Yeah, you're just gonna get sloshed and then be
No.
hungover for our meeting tomorrow.
No,
It's better for everyone if Orion doesn't wake up
Yes.
until morning.
Does anybody have the sleep spell?
Not
all
currently.
right, so you've been stabilized. And then I get to roll. No, you're out for the next 4 hours.
Oh man. Okay. I was gonna tell him it was a great fight and buy him some beer.
I'm sure Frederick would have told it for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll get a long rest tonight.
Drag him to the bunk room and just toss him in one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only way Orion gets a long rest.
There are 2 mattresses, long end to long end, and a quilt and a blanket on the floor for Ember. And then there's 2 bunk beds, and then there's 2 bunk beds without mattresses. So, where would you like to sleep? Or are you just going to put Orion on the floor?
No, that's tempting.
I've slept in
Well-
worse places.
Am I the only one who DMs? Does anybody else DM?
No, I don't.
Very rarely. It's
Okay.
been a while.
So there's this thing that they did on Reddit where everybody joined in and they made a list of 100 things. And they made a bunch of these lists. So they made a list of 100 very interesting NPCs. And when you rolled a 44, you got the Lightfoot halfling.
Yeah.
The only problem is he was a sorcerer. Arcane focus was the lightning and weather. So
Wouldn't have known that.
I thought it worked out rather well.
Yeah.
I might have shown it to you before, but I did find an app that just has a bunch of those lists that is like super helpful for DMing.
Oh yeah, send that to me again.
I
All
forget
right.
what the name of the app is, but
Well, just out of curiosity, what level was this little thunderbolt?
He was, I believe, 7th.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
He had 3 3rd-level spells, and that was the highest he'd go.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay. Well, I can take, solace in the fact that it, was some major spells that came my way that took me down. So that's a win for Orion.
I think Orion's probably going to sleep on one of the bunk beds without a mattress.
Yeah.
Oh,
That seems appropriate.
Well, do you want that one?
no, Ely got here before you guys and just flopped on one of the mattress bunk beds because nobody appreciates art.
yeah. Orion, he was 6th level.
Galley.
Okay. So Regali's on a bed with a mattress. Frederick's on a bed with a mattress. Ember's got the 2 mattresses, and I'm sleeping on a bunk that's got wood slats as a mattress.
Okay. So morning comes. This isn't like your typical hotel where they bill you or anything like that. So are you going to eat breakfast here?
I am, because I got my butt kicked last night, and I need myself some bacon and eggs.
Okay, so the whole night is going to cost you 12 gold because you broke a chair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it did. Okay.
Does Ryan even have any gold?
Well, I do. I've got about 65 gold that Frederick holds for me, so I'm down to 53 now. All right.
So what you get with breakfast is a very thick slice of what they call horse bread. It's whole grain, and when I say that, I mean it's whole grain. You get 2 eggs, some beans, a banger, and ale if you want it.
Yes.
Just to let you know that compared to last night, this meal is not good.
That's to be
Is that
expected.
going to be
Yeah.
a disappointing reality of our life post Chef John?
We will never get that high back. Every meal that we eat from now on will be like, it's good, but
Remember that meal from Chef John?
On a
Man.
scale of 1 to 10, 10 being Chef John and nothing gets above a 7 ever again. Because it's just not close.
So with disappointed stomachs, I guess we'll go meet the Count.
Okay, good morning and welcome to the 16th of Tarsak. How can I help you today? Says this little halfling looking up at you. He's rather perturbed at seeing you interrupt his second breakfast.
We're here to speak with the Count.
Oh, you're the people that he said were coming. Okay, yeah, come on in. Just have a seat over here on this bench. This is a place filled with books. Not very expensive ones, but every once in a while you'll see like there's this curved blade in some kind of sheath. There's a couple of long church warden pipes and a cross hanging up on a plaque. it seems like very odd collection. Nothing really grabs you as being, ostensibly any good. Okay. The Count comes out and he's all smiles. Oh, I'm so glad you decided to show up anyway. Welcome.
Good morning. My name is Orion. I believe you know Frederick.
Oh, yes.
Hello?
Let me, where's my poker? And he goes in the back and out comes this very shy, strangely, his hair is shaved in a very odd, so it's got like this T up front and then in the back there's like this V. And he comes out and he's yawning and he opens up his book and he looks at you and he goes, "One more time, please."
Orion.
Who would you like your belongings sent to if you perish?
Frederick.
He looks to Frederick and goes, "And your name?"
Frederick.
"And who would you like your belongings to go to if you perish?"
Regali.
"And you, I can't place your race." Looking at Regali.
At Regali or Ember?
At Regali.
Okay. Hi, I'm Regali.
"And who would you like your belongings to go to if you should perish?"
Ember.
"Let me guess, your name is Ember?"
Correct.
He rips out this piece of paper and he goes, "Put your mark down here. This is a contract that says if you guys are going to just give each other equipment, if you all perish, it comes to the Count."
Sure.
I'd like to read the contract and make sure that's actually what it says.
That is exactly what it says.
I sign.
I know how to write my name, so I can sign my name.
Yay!
It looks like a 5-year-old has written it, but I can sign it, dang it.
Yes!
And I pass it off to Frederick. See what I did there?
You never asked who I'd want my belongings going to. Not that I have many.
Oh, I'm sorry. And who would you like your belongings to go to?
Anyone other than Orion.
So when he hands you the piece of paper, you just see the arrows.
Gets Ember in this.
The Count does indeed have a plan to open up the spiral,
Okay.
also known as the anus. He's not going to share it with you, though.
That's to
So
be
he-
expected.
That makes sense.
He tells you it's 12 days out into the wilds and probably 12 days back, although if they run into trouble, there's another town on a lake that they can get to within 5 days. So it's not like, you're totally exposed out there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Gather what you want for an overland adventure. It is probably the middle of spring. Still get very cold at night. We will be traveling on horseback. You guys do have horses, right?
No. We do not.
Well, it's a good thing I did some fundraising. I will buy you horses, but only for this journey and the return.
Fair enough.
We'll take it out of whatever treasure we find.
Okay.
So each of you has a nice new riding pony,
Excellent.
and you know how to pull up stats for that, right?
No, but
I still have
I'll
stats
get
for
it.
a horse, but Will a riding pony do it for Ember? I might just have to wild shape.
Yeah, that might be a better idea for you.
Oh, I've got stats for a pony. All right.
Well,
So you
wild
sh-
shape only lasts for how long?
It's half an hour per level, I think. So
Yeah, that's not going to do it for days of travel.
Count, and you know what? I don't even know the Count's name. Count what? Count
Nobody
Chocula?
caught his name?
No, I didn't. If you said it, I didn't catch it.
We could rewind, or I could just make something else up.
Count Chocolate? I don't know.
There you go. I think that was it.
Which makes,
Let me, since I got it up, let's go with Count Fawkes, Fawkes, Fawkes.
okay. Count Fox. As you can see, our companion Ember is rather tall. I'm not sure a riding pony is going to be suitable for her.
She's a druid, right?
She is.
Then I would think she wouldn't want to ride a horse. Isn't that how druids think? Says the acolyte with the balding hairdo.
What do you know about druids? You look. Let me see your hands. And I grab his hands. Let me see your hands.
Easy, Orion.
There's not a single callus on these hands. You have
What
never.
about this one right here, where my pencil
Yeah.
sits? That one right there. There's a
look
big callus right
Look
there.
at this one and this one and this one and this one and these. Ember's gonna ride a horse.
What are you trying to say? The pen is mightier than the knuckles.
Would you like to test that theory out?
I should probably write that one down.
Just want you to snap his pen right now, so bad.
The count walks out before you get a chance to, and he goes, What is going on here?"
Your little pencil neck dweeb
Apparently has a problem with druids.
Mikhail, what is this bother? Please, we're trying to get on the road.
Right. And pencil neck dweeb thinks a pony is going to be suitable for Ember, who's 6'10".
Oh yes, I could see that would be most inadequate. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to do. Do you have a suggestion? Perhaps a very large cart, maybe.
I could keep up with Longstrider and Wild Shape, but be a little less useful in combat.
Yeah, I don't want you to use up your spell slots, so what like a big drafting horse?
Well, we could definitely get a cart and a draft horse. It would slow us down somewhat.
It would
Not
help.
that heavy.
No, but it would help.
It should be fine with just a draft horse.
A cart would also be useful bringing back whatever treasure we may find.
Exactly.
That's
Do you
a
know
good
how
point.
much you weigh, Ember?
Yes. Here. 255.
Oh, that's not much. Not for 6'10".
It's more
I'll
than a
just
pony.
feel gangly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just get Ember a riding horse that can handle 250 pounds, which shouldn't be too difficult, so she can keep up.
It might be better to put equipment on one horse trailing you, and
Yeah.
then you ride the other one. Just,
That's fine.
are you serious? That's all you weigh?
Yeah.
Okay. Says that a riding horse
called the
capacity
Hero.
is 480. So
Also, Ember does not have much equipment.
okay. So you guys are on the trail. You're headed west. So the Count regales you with a lot of information regarding local lore. So when it comes to history checks in the north of Faerun, you roll with advantage after this amount of time with the Count.
And who is in our party? Obviously, Count Fox.
And you guys.
The four of us. Are any of his retainers there?
No, but
Okay.
Count Fox has 2 horses, one to carry gear and one to carry himself.
Okay.
Okay, so would you like to, and he wants to know, I guess from Ember, if you would prefer to go through the woods or skirt the woods to the south or skirt the woods to the north?
I'm all for through the woods.
Really? Okay.
Unless these woods are like excessively dangerous.
No, not necessarily. I mean, there's always the threat when you leave Everland or any other city.
It's called the Wild after all, for a reason. Plus, I have no doubt that all of the birds and the squirrels will come running to Ember to warn her about danger. Just letting... It'll be like our very own Disney movie. All these little animals will come flocking to our aid.
Okay, almost directly west then through the Silverwood. So that's 1, 2, 3 days. And you are accosted on your second night. The Count does not expect to stay up for a watch. So how do you want to handle your watches?
Okay. Frederick, you have dark vision, correct?
Yep. So I can take the middle where it's darkest.
Ember, do you have dark vision? I can't remember.
If I wild shape, I can.
Okay. All right. So we will do the overlapping watch. Orion, Frederick, Ember, Regali. And hopefully nobody falls asleep.
Okay, it is the first night, and the Count has told you all about his life. And after dinner, during the smoking time, he would like to hear Orion's story.
Oh, okay. Well, Count, I might not look it, but I actually born and raised north of the spine of the world in the 10 towns. And I had to leave the 10 towns when I was only 7 years old. I came home one day as a young kid and discovered that my family had been slaughtered. My father was outside the house. He had been torn to shreds. My little brother was right behind him. There wasn't much left of him. And ultimately, when I went into the house, I found my mother, and she had been torn to pieces as well. And it was just tears. Even when I was 7, I distinctly remember these were not weapons. These like animal had come into the town and torn them apart. That was when I was 6, and it was winter time. So then I had to spend the winter going from foster family to family. And they always looked at me suspiciously. So then I had to leave town, and I made my way to Luskin come springtime when I was 7. And from the age of 7 to 17, I grew up in Luskin. And the only way I survived was with my fists. And I had one person, one half orc, who helped train me, helped me to learn how to fight, and came home from a fight, and there he was in the room, and just like my family, he had been torn to pieces. So I didn't stick around to ask questions. I got the hell out of there. I met Frederick in Luskin. He was there at some of my fights, and back in the day, he still knows how to stitch a wound up. And thankfully, Frederick saw me as I was leaving, and he just decided to tag along. And that's kind of where I am now. That's how I found myself where I am.
Did it ever occur to you, my dear man, to take up a sword or perhaps even a knife?
You know, growing up in Luskin, when you're 7, there's one of two ways to survive. You either become one of those second story boys, or you fight. And I don't know if you've ever been homeless and penniless, but trying to find an expensive sword to learn how to use it is a daunting task. I wasn't very good at being a second story boy, but I was good with these. And
So-
these are free, and that's how I learned how to survive. I didn't have a penny to my name. I couldn't afford a weapon.
Is there something inconceivable for you being a window washer or gutter cleaner?
You know, there's a phrase in the pugilist world. It said, "Punchers are born; they're not made." I know how to punch. I know how to fight. Window washing was not my destiny.
Windows are very, very delicate by nature. I would not recommend that career path.
Yeah.
Yes, you're quite right.
Would not trust him around windows.
Would not be a good idea.
So yeah, I
The
learned how to-
night passes smoothly. You are going to, Orion, add your perception.
Okay. Ooh, I rolled a 19.
And then Frederick,
I got 10.
and then Ember,
Also 10.
Regali,
13.
So everyone except Ember, the next morning over breakfast talks about how they thought they were being watched
Okay.
by more than just forest creatures. Ember, on the other hand, just thinks that's all they were was forest creatures.
Well, Ember is the druid.
Yes, Ember is the druid, so I'm a city boy. So I guess, yeah, if Ember says it was forest animals, then I believe her. These woods kind of, to be honest with you, these woods kind of freak me out.
They're like enclosing us. Like, can't see the sky.
Silverwood? About
See the
midday,
sky a lot better than in a building.
you come across 3 guys who are hunting. They have already taken 2 does and a buck, and they're looking for one more and asked if you've seen anything.
I've seen trees and leaves.
Lots of squirrels.
Okay. They give you some freshly smoked meats.
That's nice of them.
Wow.
Thank you.
Should we be
And-
suspicious?
What?
I said, should we be suspicious? in the land of murder hobos.
Orion's being given free meat. Is he suspicious?
No, he's not. he's grateful and he's gonna eat some venison.
There's a foraging company, and they are gathering things that are mushrooms, wild turnips, leeks, a bunch of healing herbs. There is a druid there among them, and Ember and this druid have quite a long conversation, but you guys are out of the forest and looking over the troll moors.
Okay.
All right. Oh, the sky.
So in the druid tradition, there's a rule of 3. Okay. If you see a tree that has an abundance of apples, you take 3. If there's a plant that has 3 leaves, you take 1. Okay. And then that way there's enough for everybody and you don't overburden and the plants continue to grow.
Nice.
Okay. And you're all practicing leave no trace, correct? Not the spell, the ideology that you're not littering, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Not livering, not breaking stuff left and right. I mean, actually, I'm not. Orion?
Yeah. Keeping an eye on Orion.
So at dusk, you are still in the nice sweet grass area just outside of Silverwood. And you're looking over the troll moors. And this looks like a much better place to camp for the night and just hobble the horses tonight.
Nice.
So after dinner, everyone is sitting back and finally the Count looks at Ember and says, you know, my dear woman, I'll bet you have an interesting story. And he lights up his pipe.
Oh, you know, nothing that interesting. Was born in the Hartsville area.
Oh, well, then in that case, Frederick, I bet you... No.
That's fine. Frederick.
Go ahead, Amber. I was just messing with you.
Okay. So I was born to my tribe in the Hartsville region, you know, far north. Always had a penchant for exploring and for fire. And
I'm sorry, did you say fire?
yeah,
Interesting. Please, continue.
I mean, I love fire. It gives life. It gives warmth. Protects us from the cold.
Mhm.
Nourishes us with food. Good cooking.
And your family?
Still up in Hartsville.
A big family? Small family? Well, I mean big as in number.
Yes. Verbal tradition, the tribe is the family. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's one grand community of family.
Wouldn't call it grand compared to your human cities, but no. Big community.
Is it quite melancholy where you're from? Do you sing sad songs mostly?
Not really.
No? A jolly folk, would you call yourselves?
Yeah, more jolly than melancholy.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So tell me of your decision to become a person of the woods.
Like I said, I've always liked exploring and helping people, so took up the druid tradition.
Anything in particular draw you to it?
Love for nature, love for animals.
Excellent. Yes, well, I'm quite tired and my pipe is quite empty. I shall be retiring now.
Alright.
And let's have those perception rolls again.
Ooh, I rolled a nat 20.
Ooh.
I needed that against my fight.
6.
Okay.
16.
Question.
What's that, Ember?
Any kind of advantage for wild shaping into a giant spider and setting up a web around to sense if anything's coming?
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, that's great because I rolled a nat 1. So.
I think the real question
Well-
here is, did you warn us and or the Duke that there would be a giant spider?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we talked about it, yeah.
Okay.
I can't see in the dark otherwise.
What was your advantage roll then?
With advantage, it's 12.
Okay. So
Did
you get the
wait,
sense.
did you roll with advantage?
We should have like a Pee-wee's Playhouse secret word. thing
Oh, my
where
goodness.
confetti comes down. So, Ember, you got the feeling that somebody was watching you last night, and Regali did. And Frederick, what'd you get?
6.
So you didn't get that feeling, but everything was safe. Orion, you actually got a look at one.
Ooh.
You were, now that you're out, being trailed by wood elves.
Okay. Now, would Orion know the difference between a high elf, a wood elf? He
I would
knows-
imagine.
Okay. I mean, he knows what a drow looks like because they're prevalent in Luskan, but okay.
Mhm.
So I will, as we're eating breakfast, I'm going to let everyone know that I saw a wood elf. And he's must not have been a very good wood elf because he stepped on a stick and I heard a snap and I looked and there he was. Didn't
So
see him
it's
for very
kinda-
long.
It's kind of like walking down a path here in Michigan and coming across a deer. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
Almost like you're enchanted and you got very, very lucky. And okay, so you're headed into the Troll Moors now. Things get a little more serious here. You know that, right?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
So we've been told.
Is it named the Trollmoors because there are trolls?
There
There are
were
more trolls.
there were trolls. There still are some left around, but they're no longer the strong, ambitious nation that they used to be.
Well, then why is it not the Trollesses?
Well, I'll be honest with you, they don't actually call it the Troll Moors anymore.
What do they call it?
Okay.
On the maps, at least lately, it's the Evermoors.
Okay.
Okay?
I'm sure if the Raven Queen had her way, they would be the Nevermores.
Oh,
That's a good one.
and then you are one night into the Evermoors and smoking the pipe. Let's hear from Regali tonight. What's your story?
I grew up in a fishing town on the coast. My grandfather was very blessed and successful, and so our family had several boats that my father would command. But my mother, she was different. She would always sit and stare out at the sea. As long as I can remember, she'd just kind of watch. And the other men's wives did that when the men were out fishing, but my mom never really stopped when Dad got home, and it used to be that the only way I could really catch her attention was to sit with her and sing or play music. But mostly we would just sit together for a long time, watching the sea. it wasn't until I was 8 or 9, I came into the house and I saw her over Dad's large chest holding his key. He always wore this key around his neck, and I'd never seen him without it, but I guess he left it that time when he went out. And she opened the chest and pulled out a seal skin. And then she left and went back to the sea, and I never saw her again.
What do you mean, my dear, went back to the sea?
Have you heard of the seal folk, the Selkies?
No.
She was a seal maiden.
Your mother was a Selkie.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Turns out Father had trapped her here. She never wanted this life. And so when she got the opportunity, she went back. And, well, after that day, bad things started to happen. There would be more storms than before. Ships took damage. People lost their hull. Men would be lost at sea with alarming regularity, and the people in the town grew angry. They thought that she'd cursed him or sworn vengeance. I don't know. And then when I was 13, Father didn't come back from a fishing trip. And I wasn't sure if he'd just been another casualty or if maybe the men of the village had attempted to appease her. I don't know, but I knew it wasn't safe to stay around, so I took what I could carry and I left. I traveled and played music, learned from other bards that I met on the road about stories and instruments, and eventually made my way this far inland. I didn't want to be so close to the sea again. Sorry it's not a more uplifting tale. I mean, Orion, you grew so strong, and Ember, that fire thing.
Okay. So I guess at that moment, the Count will come over and give you a hug and whisper this in your ear. Just sent you a little message in the chat.
Okay.
Messages.
A message in a bottle? Jeez.
Oh.
Orion,
Yes.
roll your perception for your watch.
Ooh, that is a lovely 11.
Frederick,
9.
Ember,
23.
Ooh.
Regali,
19.
Very nice.
The ladies brought their A game tonight.
I can roll good. So I forgot to mention, I also have a guardian fire spirit.
Nice.
You do. Ooh.
Fancy.
Okay. Second day into the Trollmoors. Let's see, who's got it? Regali, your passive perception is a 15, correct?
Yes.
Okay. If you hide now, you will avoid 4 orcs who seem to be moving in the shadow of a cliff, at the bottom of the cliff, in the shadows from the sun.
Hold up, everyone. There's 4 orcs ahead. We need to hide now.
Okay.
Orion, hide.
Okay. Fine. I'll try to hide.
You gonna let them pass?
Best to avoid the interaction altogether.
Aren't they kind of like rats? They're just like where there's one, there's like a dozen. I mean, if you saw 4, maybe there's actually 8 or 12 of them.
Potentially, and we'll keep our eyes out for more, but we're not going to start with these 4.
All right, I will do my best to hide. Not bad. 15.
Think we'll
Right.
all hide, see what we can do. 19.
Six.
It's not my fault. It's not
Nat
my
20.
fault. It's not
I-
my fault.
I only get 1 good roll a session.
A nat 20 that apparently is pointless now.
I never got a 20.
So the 4 orcs were actually running away from someone. And as you wind on down the road, it gets a little rocky. So you guys hop off your horses and are leading them through this valley. When marching right down upon you, and at this point you can roll for initiative because you each surprise each other. Ember,
Yes.
what's your niche?
7.
7? Frederick,
6.
Orion,
5.
I'm sorry?
5.
Regali.
Also 7.
Oh.
Ooh, this is not going to be fun.
5, 6, 7, 7.
So try
5,
using a
6,
different
7.
die.
So, walking out front, you come around this rock. Who wants to lead this motley crew?
Since we're in the wilds, my vote is Ember in the lead.
Yeah.
Probably wise.
I'll be right behind her.
Okay, Ember, Frederick, Regali, Orion.
Frederick's in the lead.
No,
No, it's Ember, Frederick.
Ember, Frederick, Regali.
EFRO. Ephro.
Interesting choices.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my.
So this little orange guy is a goblin, and he yells something. Does anybody speak goblin here?
Not me.
Nope.
And he runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and he's all the way back here. Okay. Let's see. 3 archers go, and it looks like line of sight. Only 2 archers can have a shot at Ember. 17 and 11. And your armor class is 15, so 1 hits.
Right.
And that is a whopping 7 points of damage.
Ow.
Ember, you hear 2 incoming arrows. You can only avoid 1. Ember, it's your turn.
Ooh, okay.
So there's cover here behind you. There's cover here at this rock, and there's lots of cover behind these 2 big boulders.
Let's see what the range is. Checking a spell real quick. 50-foot radius. How far is it between the groups?
So these 2 guys up here are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and 40. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Okay. I would like to cast Spike Growth, which is a 20-foot radius.
I love that all the rocks have shadows. I'm just really enjoying this right now.
So this guy right here, I picked this from, this was a map that he put out for free for everyone to use. So
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
Very nice.
he's got some good stuff. So how many, what's the radius?
20 foot is the radius.
And where would you like to put it?
I want to definitely hit the 2 up front. And then... yeah, let's put it between the rocks, kind of.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I will take cover.
And what does spike growth do?
Okay, so the ground in a 20-foot radius is covered on a point within range. Twist sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels.
And where would you like to take cover, Ember?
Behind the large rock to the right. Yes.
So Goblin 1. He's going to walk 5, 10, and how much damage is that?
It's 2d4 for every 5 feet.
So give him 44 worth of damage.
Okay. Any more d4s?
First world problems.
Yeah. So 7 for the first 5 feet, and then 5
I know
for
that
the
earlier the 44 wasn't 4d4, but still.
12 total.
Okay. And Regali, it's your turn.
Okay, I'd like to run up next to Ember. To the left of her. Yes. And then cast Dissonant Whispers on
Ooh.
one of the archers.
One, two, or three.
One.
Okay.
So they have to make a wisdom save.
I got an 18.
Oh. So they
So
only
what-
take half damage and don't run away.
Okay.
All right. So they only take half of 12 damage, which would be 6,
Okay.
and they don't bleed. This time.
Frederick.
Alrighty. I'll run up to that goblin one. I believe that is. Or is that two? Well, the one that's closest to us. Oh yeah, goblin one. Run up to him and take a stab at him.
I'm sorry, what did you pull?
My sword.
Which
Wow.
one?
Just my normal one.
Okay.
And I'll take a slash at him. That is 18 to hit.
That does hit.
Doing 10 damage.
Do you want to do it or you want me to do it?
Oh, I'll do it. I'll run up there, got my shield out too. Kind of knock his weapon away and then boom, right into the chest.
Gruesome. Okay.
And then if I
Ryan.
have,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, do I have enough movement to kind of get back behind that rock a little bit?
You are 5, 10, 15, 20. So you have 10 feet of movement left.
I'll just scoot as much as I can over behind that rock to try to avoid the archers.
This one
Uh,
or this one?
the big one. So wherever I can get in there.
Okay.
Squeeze on in.
Ryan.
Yes. I am going to do, I'm going to use the dash action for a double move to, so I'm going to go to the left, then more to the left. I want to be behind the littler rock. Down, yeah. So I want to get up to there so I have cover from the archers.
Okay. So that triggers this archer number 3 here.
Mm-hmm.
So he will take a shot at you now that he saw you. He rolls a 7. So it whistles by your head.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's really all I can do at this point.
So I need 2 more D4s for Ember's area of effect spell.
So 5 feet or 10 feet?
10 feet.
Okay, so that's 4. Only 7 that time.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah.
So the goblin priest in the back starts yelling something. And here comes 3 shots at one at Orion, 2 at Regali.
Oh,
Regali,
Yeah?
you've been hit twice. For 7.
ow.
Orion, another one whistles by your head and then skips off the rock right in front of your face.
Okay.
Ember,
I think I'm just going to cast Cure Wounds on Regali.
aw,
Thanks.
how many you give her?
7.
Yay.
You guys suck.
I'm still hurt.
I love how quick that was. Ow, oh, thanks.
The goblin, as he's running up to you, Regali, says something in his language as he comes in with his short sword and misses twice.
I understand none of it because Regali is not Ely.
I'm sorry. It is Regali's turn.
Yay. I'm going to pull out my spear and stab the goblin two-handed.
Is that a 10-foot threat area?
I don't know. I've never used it before. Let me check.
I believe it. I believe
is.
it is. So if you want to jump back 5,
Yes, I would love to jump back 5.
and you do not get an attack of opportunity because it's a 10-foot pole arm. So go ahead and make your attack.
Okay. Well, for my very first use of the spear, I roll 4.
So that was to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to do?
I will give. I'm gonna pat Ember on the arm and say, "Thanks for the boost. This one's all yours." Take up Bardic Inspiration, Ember.
Thanks.
Frederick.
Take a slash at this guy since he's just right here. It's 15.
Damage.
4.
He snarls like a feral animal. Orion.
All right, so moving to my left, I am going to move 30 feet closest to the archer that's not in Ember's circle there. And I'm going to do so using the dodge action. So if they take pot shots at me, they're going to do so with disadvantage.
I rolled an 18 and a 19.
Oh.
Ooh.
The other guy wasn't so lucky. However, the damage was 2.
Oh, okay. Which one was that?
This guy right here.
I snarl at him and say, "You're gonna pay for that, you little green turd."
You haven't taken an action. You do have more movement left if you'd like.
Um. I guess, yeah, I guess he's within range, so I'll take a shot at him with my hand crossbow.
From here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that is a 14 to hit.
That does hit.
Ooh, all right. And that would be a 4 points of damage.
Where'd you get him?
Really? That's all it
Yeah.
took? Whoa, it's a lucky shot, and it strikes him right in the side of the neck and goes through, and it slices open his carotid artery.
Ugh.
Gross.
Ember
Okay.
Ember, will your area of effect spell affect allies as well? I'm
It will, but it is concentration, so if you want me to stop it, you can just ask.
Well, if you see me yelling as I run into it, that's the sign that I'm going in.
I figured that was definitely a possibility.
Okay.
Frederick. He rolled a natural 20,
Ooh. Ouch.
but his damage is only 6.
Got it.
Our first real combat in the campaign, and Frederick is in melee, and Orion is killing people at range.
It happened.
Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think magic missile automatically hits unless you've got that spell,
Yeah, shield.
Orion.
Yep.
Ooh.
See, that is a total of 6 points of damage as 2 missiles smack into your chest.
6 points, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang.
Archer number 1 is dead. Archer numbers 2 and 3 are going to pick on the immediate threat, which is Orion.
No.
Why do you keep saying that? A natural 20.
Ah, but I'm using the dodge action until, so they have to roll with disadvantage.
Oh, so you're telling me my natural 20 is actually a 7?
Yes.
All right. I need a dice cam. That would be sweet, wouldn't it?
Yes.
All right. They both miss you because they had to roll with disadvantage.
Whew.
And I will next purchase is a dice game. Sweet. You, sir, are lucky. As you dodge both these arrows coming at you, you notice that the goblin spellcaster is yelling at them emphatically. Ember, it's your turn.
So there's still the one goblin, and then Orion's the only one that's super hurt right now.
Is Orion super hurt?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I just mean the two people next to me are okay, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm good.
About how far is it from me to the the group of 3 that way.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Okay. I will move to within 30 feet of them, dropping the spike growth if I have to.
You sure you want to peek out?
If I don't, they're just going to kill Orion.
I don't know about that. Okay, what would you like to do?
I would like to summon my wildfire spirit guardian on top of them.
Nice.
So they all have to make a dex save.
How long does it last?
It lasts up to an hour or until it's killed. But when it comes in, they have to make the dex save or take 2d10 fire damage.
Schmancy.
All right, so it's in the middle of them. What would you like to do with it?
Well, first they have to make a dex save for being within 10 feet of it.
4 and a 6,
Okay. Aren't there 3 of them there?
which translates to a 6, 8, and 10.
Okay, so that's all a fail. So they all take 7 fire damage.
All of them?
They all failed, yeah.
Uh-oh. This may be bad.
It arrives explosively, and then it can shoot at one of them.
Yeah, that's... Well, none of them are dead, but they are definitely quite shocked at the... Yeah. So what do you want to
Okay.
do now?
It's gonna... So I use my bonus action to have it shoot its fire attack at the mage.
Okay.
It got an 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Ooh, max of 8 fire damage.
Dang.
Nice.
Fire!
I just love that like the figurines have the fire as a directional light source. Like
It's nice. My
Uh,
fire
Re-
spirit definitely isn't that big, but it does look great.
it's amazing.
I could find a smaller one. Regali, it's your turn.
Oh, well, nothing as impressive as Ember. I will step forward to where Ember was before, so I'm just kind of peeking behind the rock. Yeah, that's good. And then I would like to do Dissonant Whispers on the archer to the left.
Number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
He has to make a wisdom save. Because the voices in his head are saying things he doesn't understand. Yeah.
So he rolled a 14, so that's a 13.
13 is my DC.
So he passed.
Man!
I do wonder though,
Okay.
for in the future, if they fail that, will that make them run through a spike growth to get away from you?
It says that they don't run into obvious danger,
Oh.
Okay.
like a fire, for example. I don't know what that would mean if they were already standing in a spike. I just don't know.
I would say that once they run 5 feet, it becomes obvious that it's danger because they've taken damage,
Yeah.
and then they stop. That's what would make sense to me. But what do I know? I've got an intelligence of 9.
I don't know. I didn't really want to debate it today, so I intentionally Focused on archers.
That's fair.
So he takes half of 8 damage because 1s are great. So that's 4.
That is enough to drop him.
Wow.
All right.
Oh, he's lucky I didn't get my paws on him.
Indeed.
I don't know, Orion. Are you sure he's not faking? He just clutched his head and fell over.
Trying to not break the 180 rule, so we'll stay on this side of the table.
People around
Interesting.
Regalia just mysteriously die from migraines.
Frederick.
Oh,
All right.
I wanted to use the rest of my movement to jump more behind the rock so I'm fully covered. Sorry.
Nope, no problem. Frederick.
Hopefully I'll be able to take this feller down. So I'll attack him again. That is 23 to hit.
Damage.
8.
You hit it for 8?
Yep.
How do you want to do it?
For this one, I'll sweep the legs with my shield and boom.
You also have movement left.
I'll sprint forward and get as far as I can up toward the other two. Staying outside of range of the big old fire.
It doesn't do area damage anymore.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little fire spirit now.
Oh, nice.
And Orion.
All right, I am gonna go over to the goblin spellcaster. I think I can get there. And since he's right beside that big rock, I'm going to take my hand and palm strike him in the side of the head and try to crush his head between the big rock and my hand.
Gruesome. I love it.
And I rolled a 25 to hit
Okay.
for 8 points of damage.
Oh, really?
Yes.
He goes limp.
Orion doesn't catch fire or anything, right?
Why
No.
would he?
I don't know.
Big fire thing there.
Ember said something about them taking damage because they were within 10 feet, and I didn't know if that was like a persistent effect or...
That's only when it arrives.
Okay.
It's actually a small fire now.
And then
Knows how to make an entrance.
Yeah. It can make a fancy exit too.
Ooh.
and
Anything else?
If I've got 5 more feet of movement left, then I would move 5 feet towards the goblin archer and use my second bonus attack.
You, however, do not.
Okay. Is there anything around me that I could use as an improvised weapon, like a rock or anything like that, that I could throw
Goblin
at?
body.
Yeah, goblin body.
Goblin body.
You're already holding it.
Yeah. How big are the
Throw
goblins?
the goblin body.
Big what?
How big is the goblin?
They're skinnier than a halfling, but about that size.
All right, then I'm gonna take the body of the spellcaster and fling it at that at that last goblin as an improvised weapon.
Nice.
Good lord.
Yeah, I missed though. At least I think I did. Does a 14 hit?
It does hit.
That's
How much
10
damage
that's
does a
10
goblin spellcaster do?
That's 10 points of bludgeoning damage with his companion's body.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that takes him out.
What a way to go.
That's gruesome.
I'm kind of glad Regali didn't actually see that part.
So do you remember we talked about whether or not you were, the camera could pick this up or not? I'm just going to borrow one of these guys real quick, but so in Tabletop Simulator, there's something called Flick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That wasn't hard enough to kill him.
Let's try again.
I was going to
Do it
ask
again.
earlier, does it have where you can roll dice on the table too?
Yeah, it does.
Huh. Nice.
Let's not do that. I like rolling my own dice.
Actually, you will get better results if you roll your own. This algorithm for dice rolling is never as good, from what I understand.
Computer
Yay.
algorithms generally aren't great.
You have
But
killed
they're good
everybody, unless you want to go chase down those orcs now.
No.
Now we're good.
What happens to your fire spirit?
After an hour, it just goes away.
Hey, I was promised a grand exit.
Hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm just pushing pause.
Oh, he's fancy.
Isn't he?
Very.
Got a
Okay.
sword and everything.
I just got to make sure he's not as tall as Ember.
So, Dennis, obviously all this I'm going to be editing out, but just so you're aware, we have rolled past the 3-hour mark for session 1.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's right. We were already,
Yeah,
I
last
forgot
week.
about that.
Yeah, last week we had about an hour's worth, and this week we're past the 2-hour mark. So
But that's why we didn't have to introduce ourselves this time. Got it.
right, so we still have Frederick's campfire story to knock out for session 1, and then we should probably wrap up session 1 because it's getting lengthy.
Okay.
Sorry,
So-
mine was boring.
No, it
You
wasn't boring. It was good.
you
I liked
stack
it.
you stack the bodies up, collect your horses. You have found on these goblins 17 gold, 5 silver. You have a very dirty, nasty, rusty key, but you don't know what it's to. That was on the cleric.
Okay.
And he was also wearing a ring that
Are you
has
tracking
some
the loot?
arcane writing on it.
Ooh.
You clip-clop yourselves probably a good half-mile away from the battle scene where it's getting a little too dark to keep going. Ember finds a nice place to bed down for the night. You make a small cooking fire. Food is at, and the smoking lamp is lit. And everyone looks at Frederick and says, "Hey, what's your story?"
Oh, me? Oh, well. I don't know how interesting it is. As you might have been able to tell, I am half an elf. My mama, not really sure where she was from. She died giving birth to me, so I was kind of taken care of for a little bit in a elvish city. Again, they didn't. Thing is, I don't think they really took kindly to, half breeds like me. So as soon as they figured out who my daddy was, they sent me off to him. His name was he was a human named Arthur Kane. He used to live down in Evening Star down in Cormier. He owned a inn down there. And well, by the time I got down there to him, I was about 5 years old, I think it was, something like that. And, you know, by that time he had married, had a couple kids of his own, you know, other than the surprise, I guess it was. But they welcomed me, him and his wife. They were good to me, raised me as one of their own, which I very much appreciate. Other than that, had a fairly normal, I guess, childhood. Only thing was it took me a little longer to grow than my, you know, brothers and sisters. So, you know, by the time I was, you know, old enough to pretty well take care of myself, they was all, you know, starting their own lives and stuff. And my mom and pa were getting older, and well, they passed away. And then my brother and sisters, they started getting older, and a few of them passed away. And then their kids starting families of their own. It kind of felt out of place, you know. I don't know if anybody of you really know what that's like, but I tell you, it's odd feeling seeing, you know, child that you saw get born end up head and shoulders taller than you and going out having kids of their own when you're still feeling like it, you know, that just the other day you was playing with your brother and sisters down at the creek. But
Where are you originally from? You personally?
oh, like I said, I don't know what Elvis City I was born in, but if anybody asks, I was raised in Cormier. That's where I'm from.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Anything else?
Well, other than that, I started adventuring probably when I was about 70. Now I made my way up to Luskin. Like Ryan was saying, that's where I met him. He was doing fights, getting all types of banged up, and I do what I could to keep him pieced back together. But yeah, other than that, I think it's fairly normal childhood as far as half elf goes, I expect.
Was it a happy one?
Oh yeah, I helped around at the inn. That was some good times. But
Well, the count stretches and gets up and he toddles off to bed. Says good night to you all. And with that, we'll end this session.
All right. Excellent.
And so during dessert, you realize that things have gone extremely quiet. Everyone's just kind of digesting their thoughts and their meal. And as soon as you start finishing dessert, you can see it almost in the same wave that everyone was served. They start to come back to life again.
Are you okay, Frederick?